Capricorn, pause for a moment and look at your left hand. Really look at it. Do you see it? That faint line, that strange curve, that mark, that feels like it was etched there before time even began. What if I told you this is not just skin, not just a collection of veins and flesh, but a divine canvas marked by something greater than this world? What if the story of your life, the hardships you've endured, the moments you felt separated from the crowd, the nights you've cried quietly wondering, why me, was all connected to this silent mark on your left hand? Capricorn, there are billions of people walking this earth, yet heaven says that only 1 in a million carries this sacred imprint. It's not random, it's not a mistake, it's a sign, a seal, placed on a rare soul chosen to carry a mission no one else could bear. And maybe, just maybe, you are one of them. Right now, as you listen to my voice, something inside you stirs, a strange knowing in your chest, like you've just stumbled upon a truth your spirit always felt but never had words for. This is no accident. If you are hearing this, this message was meant to find you. This is not about fortune or luck. This is not about being special for the sake of pride. This is about a destiny set apart, a journey written long before you took your first breath. The mark on your left hand is not just a mark. It is a message. It is heaven whispering, I have called you by name. I have set you apart. Look at your left hand once more. Trace the lines with your eyes. Feel the quiet weight it carries. Have you ever wondered why life seemed to test you harder than others? Why you've walked through fires that others would have crumbled under? Why you feel things deeper, dream of things bigger, carry burdens heavier than most? It's because you are marked. Marked for something greater than you've been told. Marked for paths that few ever walk. Marked with a promise that only rare souls are entrusted with. Capricorn, type in the comments right now, I am chosen. Declare it boldly. Not because you are certain yet, but because something inside you already knows this is true. You've felt it for years. The pull, the difference, the silent call that never leaves you. Write it so that heaven and earth witness your awakening tonight. Stay with me until the end of this message, because what you are about to hear may explain every unanswered question in your heart. The strange turns your life has taken, the unexpected pain, the unshaken hope that refuses to die in you. This revelation could make sense of the battles you faced and the victories you never understood. Capricorn, this is no ordinary message. This is a rare calling. A 1 in a million truth meant for your soul and your soul alone. Do not turn away. The divine mark on your left hand is more than a line. It is your destiny etched by heavenly hands. Tonight, you will finally understand why you've always felt different. Tonight, you will remember who you truly are. Capricorn, listen closely, because what you're about to hear has been spoken of in hushed tones for centuries. There is an ancient belief, passed down through whispers and sacred teachings, that says some souls do not walk this earth by coincidence. They are not here simply to live, work, and die as others do. No, they come marked. Marked by something far greater than human understanding. Long before your first breath, before the world even knew your name, there was a decision made about your life. A choice made by the divine. A seal was placed, not on your forehead for the world to see, but on your left hand, where few would ever notice. A seal only heaven and your spirit would understand. Mystics of old described this mark as mysterious and powerful. It is not something carved by human hands, nor is it a scar of past wounds. It is not random or meaningless. This mark is a sign that your spirit was entrusted with a task, a journey, a weight that only rare souls are chosen to carry. Some have a faint symbol, a line that crosses another in a way that feels unnatural, almost otherworldly. Others bear a birthmark that seems to pulse with quiet purpose, refusing to fade no matter how many years pass. But here is what makes this legend powerful. Only 1 in a million ever carries this mark. And when they do, life is never ordinary. Life never feels light. Life never flows in the same way it does for others. Because this mark is not an ornament, it is a calling. Capricorn, imagine this truth. Heaven placed its seal on you before the world had a say. You were not sent here to drift. You were sent here to shift destinies, break chains, change lives, even when you didn't know how. That mark on your left hand is a message between you and the divine, a silent covenant that only your soul fully understands. Many who bear this mark do not even realize it for years. They dismiss it as a strange line, a meaningless mark, or something they've had since birth, with no deeper reason. And yet, deep inside, they know they are not like everyone else. They walk through life feeling slightly apart, slightly different, as though carrying a story too sacred to tell. And the world rarely understands. It looks at you and sees only your struggles, your battles, your strange journey that seems harder than most. It wonders why you've been tested again and again, why your path seems littered with obstacles no one else faces. But the truth is this: the marked ones are refined by fire, because they are sent to carry light where others cannot go. This is why heaven's seal is not given to many. Only 1 in a million can endure the weight it carries. Only 1 in a million can hold the divine blueprint for something larger than their own life. That mark is not there to make you feel different for the sake of being different. It's there to remind your soul that you were chosen long before the world called your name. Capricorn, look at your left hand. Trace the lines, the marks, the shapes that live there. You may have never understood them, but they are not empty patterns. They are messages etched in flesh, reminders that your life was signed and sealed with intention. This is not a mistake. You are not random. You are not ordinary. Every time life feels heavy, every time you wonder why your story has been filled with detours, pain, and battles that break others but somehow leave you standing, remember this legend. Remember this truth. You are 1 in a million, chosen not by man, but by the divine itself. This mark is heaven's way of saying, your path will be hard, but it will be holy. You will face storms, but you will not drown. You will carry a weight, but it will unlock doors for generations after you. That, Capricorn, is the power of the left-hand mark. It is not there to haunt you. It is not there to make you question your worth. It is there to remind you that before this life began, you were already set apart. Heaven trusted you with something most would not survive. You have been chosen for a destiny the world cannot take from you. And tonight, as you listen to these words, maybe for the first time, you feel the truth of this legend in your own spirit. Because you know deep down, you were never just another face in the crowd. You have always been marked. You have always been chosen. You are, and always will be, 1 in a million. The strange weight of being marked. Capricorn, being marked by heaven is not the fairy tale people imagine it to be. It is not the instant glory the world makes it seem. In truth, it feels heavy. It feels like carrying a secret on your shoulders that no one else can see, yet you feel its weight every single day. From the moment you came into this world, something about your journey has been different. You've walked through storms others never had to face. You've endured pain that words could not fully explain. And many times, you've wondered if something was wrong with you. If perhaps you were cursed, forgotten, or left behind. But the truth is far from that. You were marked, not for suffering, but for something sacred. And with that mark comes a weight only the rarest souls can carry. There have been nights where you sat alone, staring at your hands, questioning why life has never been simple for you. Why friendships sometimes crumble without warning. Why people you loved have hurt you the deepest. Why opportunities have slipped through your fingers just as you reached for them. The world sees only the surface, but heaven knows the truth. This is not punishment, it is preparation. Capricorn, you are 1 in a million, and such a destiny cannot be shaped in comfort. It is forged in fire. That divine mark on your left hand is a seal that called you to a higher path, one that cannot be walked without strength, faith, and resilience. And so life has carved these qualities into you, not gently but powerfully, shaping you into someone capable of carrying out a mission others would collapse under. Think of all the times a door slammed in your face. At first it felt like rejection. It felt like loss. But later you saw how it was heaven's way of steering you away from danger, toward something better, something purer. Think of every heartbreak that left you shattered, only for you to rise wiser, stronger, and more certain of what real love should look like. These weren't random events. They were lessons meant to build a soul that could hold light without breaking. The marked are refined differently. Where others are allowed to wander freely, you were kept under watchful guidance. Where others played without consequence, your mistakes seemed heavier, your consequences sharper, your lessons deeper. Because your life is not ordinary, your growth could not be ordinary either. And yes, it feels lonely. Being marked often feels like walking a road no one else understands. People see your smile but do not know the tears that fell in the dark. They see your strength but cannot imagine the battles you fought silently to stand where you are. But heaven knows. Heaven has seen every moment you wanted to give up, but didn't. Every prayer you whispered through trembling lips, every time you carried burdens without complaint. This is the mark's weight. It tests you, it stretches you, but it also protects you and calls you higher. Capricorn, this divine mark was never placed on you for decoration. It carries meaning, and that meaning is heavy. It asks you to live differently, to endure differently, to believe differently. You were not chosen to fit in with the crowd. You were chosen to rise above, to lead, to heal, to bring light into dark places. That is why you feel the weight others do not feel. That is why your story feels like a path carved uphill, step after step. But remember this, heaven never marks a soul it does not plan to carry. You have not walked alone, even in your loneliest hours. Every unseen battle had a divine witness. Every tear watered the seeds of the destiny that is still unfolding for you. The weight you feel is not the sign of a curse. It is the sign of a crown being shaped for you, piece by piece, moment by moment. You are marked, Capricorn. And though it feels heavy now, it is the proof that your life has meaning beyond what this world can comprehend. 1 in a million cannot walk lightly, because 1 in a million carries the kind of calling that changes everything it touches. There was once a child, born under the pale glow of a winter moon, on a night so quiet that even the wind seemed to pause, as though it knew a rare soul had just entered the world. This child carried something different, not a crown, not riches, but a small, peculiar mark etched on the left palm. It was tiny, almost unnoticeable, yet it was shaped like a faint star, as though heaven itself had touched the child's hand before they were placed in their mother's arms. As the child grew, life seemed to resist them at every turn. Where others moved forward easily, they found locked doors. Where others found friendship, they tasted betrayal. Where others were celebrated, they were misunderstood. Their young heart carried a heaviness they could not explain, a sense that they were fighting battles they did not choose. Nights were spent asking silent questions to the ceiling above their bed. Why does everything feel so hard? Why does no one seem to truly see me? Why does my heart hurt so much when I have done nothing wrong? But what the child did not know was that this mark was not a flaw, not a curse, not an accident. It was a seal. And seals are placed only on what is precious, only on what is chosen, only on what is meant for more than an ordinary path. Time passed, and the challenges did not end. The child, now older, endured heartbreaks that cut deep and losses that stole their breath. Friends they trusted turned away, dreams they fought for crumbled, and yet, somehow, every time despair threatened to swallow them whole, something unseen would reach out and pull them back from the edge. A fall that should have broken them only left a bruise. A betrayal that should have hardened their heart somehow grew compassion instead. A dream that died gave birth to something greater than they imagined. It was as though an invisible hand was guiding them, protecting them, shaping them, not removing the pain, but transforming it into strength. Many years later, after one particularly hard season, the child, now grown and wearied by life's constant trials, met a wise elder. The elder had eyes that seemed to hold the memory of every star in the sky, and they noticed something that no one else ever had. They reached for the grown child's left hand, studied the faint star-shaped mark, and whispered words that would change everything. "This is not a scar. This is a seal. You are 1 in a million. The pain you have carried was never punishment. It was preparation. The storms you walked through were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to carve you into someone unbreakable. Someone chosen for a task the world has not yet seen. In that moment, tears that had been locked away for years finally fell. For the first time, the marked one understood. Every betrayal, every loss, every struggle was not proof that they were forsaken. It was proof that heaven had never left their side. The mark on their hand was silent evidence that even in the worst moments, divine eyes had been watching, divine hands had been guiding, divine love had been shaping them into exactly who they were meant to be. Capricorn, perhaps this story feels like fiction, but something in your soul stirs as you hear it. Because deep down, you know, this is your story too. Maybe you cannot explain why life has felt like a battlefield from the very beginning. Maybe you have wondered if you were simply unlucky, cursed, or forgotten. But the truth is, you have been marked all along. And though the mark may not be visible to everyone, it is visible to heaven. You too have survived despair that should have ended you. You have seen doors close violently, only to find better ones waiting later. You have been betrayed, yet you still know how to love. You have been pushed down, yet you still rise. This is no accident, Capricorn. This is no coincidence. This is the sign of the marked soul. Your pain has been a signal, a divine reminder that your life carries weight, purpose, and power far beyond what the eye can see. That quiet mark on your left hand is not just part of your skin, it is a heavenly imprint, proof that you are one in a million, chosen, protected, and destined for something far greater than this world can imagine. The left hand, receiving energy from above. Capricorn, there is something sacred about your left hand. Across time and cultures, spiritual teachers, prophets, and wise elders have spoken of the left hand as a vessel, not a weapon. It is not made to fight or to force. It is the hand that receives. It opens to what cannot be seen, reaching into the unseen realms and pulling divine energy, blessings, and guidance into the world we live in. For you, having a divine mark on this specific hand is no mistake. It is not random, not meaningless. It is a channel, a pathway between heaven and your soul. This mark is proof that you were chosen to receive in ways others may not. Chosen to hear whispers most people miss, chosen to catch blessings that seem impossible to the ordinary eye. Think about your life for a moment. Have you ever noticed sensations in that hand? A strange warmth during prayer or quiet moments of reflection? A tingling just before you made a big choice that changed everything? A sudden sense of peace rushing through you as if something invisible touched your palm? These are not coincidences, Capricorn. These are signs that your mark is alive, responding, awakening, connecting you to the divine flow that only rare souls are entrusted with. This mark is not a decoration on your hand. It is a key, unlocking guidance when you need it most. At times you may have wondered why your instincts are so strong, why you feel things before they happen, why you sometimes know truths you were never told. It is because you were given a gift, and that gift has a doorway, and that doorway rests in your left hand. Many people live disconnected, unable to hear or feel the guidance that surrounds them. But you, Capricorn, were not meant to wander blindly. This divine mark sets you apart, making you a receiver of messages from above. Through this mark, heaven nudges you, warns you, comforts you, and pours wisdom into your spirit. You are spiritually wired to pick up signals others cannot hear, to sense paths that are safe, to avoid roads that would harm you, to walk toward the destiny heaven prepared for you long ago. There will be times when this mark feels like a mystery. You may not understand why you sense things so deeply, why you sometimes feel energy flowing through you, or why you dream dreams that seem to come from another place. But these moments are proof that you are connected. They are reminders that you are chosen not only to live, but to listen, to receive what heaven sends so you can walk in light while the world stumbles in darkness. Capricorn, you are not only marked, you are linked to the divine. Your left hand is more than flesh and bone. It is a living bridge between your earthly steps and heaven's direction. Each time you feel that warmth, that strange pull, that unexplainable calm, know this: it is heaven's hand over yours, guiding you, blessing you, aligning you with divine timing and protection. You were never meant to walk blindfolded through this life. You were chosen to receive, to channel wisdom and light, to hold blessings that flow not just for you, but for those your life will touch. The mark on your left hand is your silent proof that heaven trusted you with this connection, a gift only one in a million souls are chosen to carry. The battle for the marked ones. Capricorn, do not think that being chosen makes your life simple. Do not think that carrying this divine mark makes the road smooth. In truth, it often makes it more difficult, because 1 in a million is rare, and what is rare is always noticed, sometimes by forces that do not wish you well. From the moment you entered this world, you carried a light within you, a silent glow that set you apart even when you didn't understand why. This light came from the mark on your life, a seal placed by heaven itself. But where there is light, darkness takes notice. Where there is purpose, opposition rises. Where there is a divine assignment, battles appear. You may have felt it in ways you couldn't explain. Sudden storms that came out of nowhere, trying to shake you to your core. People who turned against you for no reason, trying to crush your spirit with lies, betrayal, or rejection. Plans that seemed destined to succeed, only to collapse at the last moment. These are not accidents, Capricorn. These are battles aimed at the marked ones, at souls heaven has chosen to carry extraordinary destinies. The truth is, darkness does not fight what does not threaten it. And you, Capricorn, are a threat to the plans of darkness, simply because you were born with this seal. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your resilience unsettles what tries to break you. Your calling carries weight that cannot be ignored. And so life has often felt like a fight you didn't choose, a fight you sometimes felt too tired to keep facing. But hear this: every battle you faced was never meant to destroy you. It was meant to test and reveal the strength of the seal you carry, to see if you would keep walking when your legs shook, to see if you would keep believing when faith felt impossible, to see if you would keep shining even when surrounded by darkness. There were moments you wanted to quit. Moments you thought you were alone. Moments you asked, why me? Why does it feel like the world is against me? And yet, here you are, still standing, still breathing, still rising. That is not by your strength alone. That is heaven fighting beside you, unseen but powerful, pushing you forward when you felt like falling apart. The mark on your left hand is proof that you have a destiny worth fighting for. It is a sign that heaven has invested too much in your life to let you be defeated. You have been through fires that could have consumed you, storms that should have drowned you, pain that could have hardened your heart, but you survived. Not only did you survive, but you grew stronger, wiser, more determined. Capricorn, every battle you faced was a reminder. You are chosen, you are sealed, you are protected. The darkness may notice you, but it can never win against you. The opposition may rise, but it can never erase what heaven has written over your life. Your story is not one of defeat. It is one of endurance, of divine protection, of a destiny too precious to lose. And though the battles have been fierce, they have not been in vain. They have shaped you into the rare soul you were always meant to be, the 1 in a million marked not for destruction, but for a life that carries eternal purpose. How to know if you are one of them? Capricorn, not everyone who is chosen carries a visible sign on their left hand. For some, the mark is faint, almost invisible to the human eye. But for others, the mark is deeper. It is not just written on the skin, it is carved into the soul. And while you may not see it every day when you look at your hand, there are patterns, signs in your life that reveal you are one of the rare, one of the chosen, one of the 1 in a million souls who carry this divine seal. Have you ever felt as though you do not truly belong to this world? Like no matter where you go or who you're with, there's always a part of you that feels separate, different, as though you were meant for a greater purpose you cannot yet name? This is one of the first signs of a marked soul. It's not loneliness, It's a quiet knowing in your spirit that you are on a path few will ever walk, a road heaven itself designed only for you. There are moments, too, when your left hand feels different. Perhaps it tingles during prayer, warms up when you are faced with a major decision, or feels heavy in moments of deep emotion. These are not accidents, Capricorn. These are signals from the divine, reminders that you are connected to something beyond this world, a higher wisdom flowing through you, guiding you even when you cannot see the full picture. Then there are the battles you've survived, the ones that should have ended you. Times when life knocked you down so hard that you didn't think you could rise again, yet somehow you did. And not only did you rise, but you came back stronger, wiser, more compassionate. This resilience is not just your own strength, it is the seal on your life refusing to let darkness win. Marked souls are never abandoned, they are carried through fires so they can walk out shining brighter than before. You may also have noticed that your life often feels delayed. Opportunities slip away, plans fall apart, doors close before you can step through them. And yet, in time, you are redirected to something better, something you didn't even know you needed. These delays are not punishment, they are protection. Heaven's seal on your life ensures that you only receive what truly aligns with your destiny. The marked ones cannot be allowed to settle for less than what they were created for. And perhaps most telling of all is your heart. You feel deeply. You notice pain in others, and instead of turning away, you are moved to help, to heal, to bring light to dark places. This compassion is not ordinary. It is the sign of a soul that was marked not just to live, but to lift others. You were not sent here to simply take from life, Capricorn. You were sent here to give something rare and powerful, a love and understanding the world desperately needs. If you recognize these signs in yourself, then know this. Your mark is not just on your skin, it runs deeper. It is etched into your spirit, into every choice you make, every trial you endure, every life you touch. The left hand is only the vessel, the visible reminder. But the true sign, the one that cannot be erased, is the calling inside you, the unshakable truth that you were chosen for something extraordinary long before you knew it. Capricorn, you are one in a million, not because of what you've done, but because of what heaven placed on you. Your soul bears a divine seal that no person, no circumstance, no darkness can ever remove. And if you've ever doubted your worth or questioned why your life feels different, let this be your answer. You are marked, chosen, and destined for a path only the rarest hearts are trusted to walk. You are one in a million. Capricorn, pause for a moment and look closely at your left hand tonight. It doesn't matter if you see a visible mark or not, because this truth goes deeper than what your eyes can see. Your soul has been carrying a seal far older than time itself. Before you ever took your first breath, before anyone knew your name, heaven whispered over you, "This one is set apart. This one is chosen." Every battle you fought, every tear you've shed, every delay that left you wondering why your life felt different. All of it was never random. It was never without meaning. These were not signs of failure, not signs that you were forgotten. They were the weight of a rare destiny pressing on your life, shaping you for something only a one in a million soul could fulfill. Being one in a million does not mean living a perfect life. It does not mean you were spared from pain or hardship. It means heaven trusted you enough to walk a path very few could survive. It means that even in your darkest nights, you are never truly alone, because the seal on your life guaranteed divine protection, divine timing, divine guidance. Capricorn, type these words in the comments now. I am chosen. I receive my divine path. Speak it as a declaration over your life. Let the universe hear it. Let heaven see your heart opening to what was always meant for you. If this message has touched something deep in your spirit, stay connected here. There are more truths waiting for you, more mysteries about your own soul that only light can uncover. You are not just another name in the crowd. You were chosen long before the world knew you. Your left hand is not just skin and bone, it is a living map, a sacred signature of destiny. Heaven has been writing your story line by line, and it is not finished yet. Greater chapters are still to come. Subscribe if you feel called, because this is only the beginning of what heaven is about to reveal to you. Capricorn, you are one in a million, marked not for an ordinary life, but for a divine journey that will echo far beyond your own time.